People are waiting.
I don't know if I appreciate this. Yeah, we're getting thrown under the bus
Right off the bat.
I mean, I was gone
This is
last
the
week.
throw
I'm
under the
nervous.
bus episode.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Well, I don't
There's
know.
a whole line of buses coming.
Well, if anyone didn't see that
A
bus,
shovel of people.
if anyone didn't see that bus ride headed to Buffalo, looking quite like it looked anyways,
I think Rhett was on that bus.
nah, it's not really a red wine and cheese bus.
It is if Rhett's on it.
Very true. And if it was heading to Buffalo, the only way they would drink that red is straight out of the bottle.
We need to make sure Rhett got home safely. Although I like to think that he was there, he was at the stadium, and I love Buffalo fans.
Has there been a Rhett sighting?
No, there has not been.
Doesn't he live right there?
I know.
Good evening, AGH.
Awesome, AGH, good to see you. Welcome everybody to Tuesday night on behalf of First Amendment Sports. I'm Ken Marigold. This is, thank God, it's Tuesday. Joined by, on the far right, Tim Stratton.
That's me. What do you want to talk about today?
We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about what happened.
I'm glad Kevin's back. Welcome back.
Thanks, man.
Glad
Kevin
you feel
Rica.
better.
I missed you guys last week. I barely ate any chicken wings all weekend. Barely ate any on Sunday. I couldn't even stomach it. I only had 6 or 7. I miss you guys. I miss enjoying my Buffalo wings. I miss enjoying good football. I miss a lot.
Yeah, there was a lot.
Greg's saying,
I want to miss.
Greg, you saying you can't hear us?
Can't hear us.
Yeah, I want to make sure people can hear us. I don't know. Maybe they can. Maybe they can't.
I mean, that was some of our best
Uh-oh.
content ever.
I don't know. We were just kind of griping.
No, I know.
AGH.
Can
If
you
I'm
hear?
waving,
Can you hear him waving? Can you hear him?
Greg Martin,
Is this-
can you smell what happened right before the show started?
No.
Get anybody?
Please say no.
He's only
Like
getting
normal
a little.
speaking in a room.
Yeah, we've had that happen before. I don't know what that is. You know what? You know what we're gonna do?
There's a button you hit.
We're gonna jiggle the handle.
There's something you hit.
That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna jiggle the handle.
That's not picking up.
Thank you, Greg.
I can hear it.
Hey. Hello.
Turn it up on your thing.
You sound like you're in a bathroom. We got some weird stuff going
Turn
on.
it up right here.
No, we're good. That's not doing anything.
No, on your computer so we can.
I don't know if they're saying stop grunting or that.
I think it's
or that this is sounds like a big batch of farts.
no, he's right.
Yeah. We had it for a second.
So
You were jiggling it and something almost happened. He said
it's
had it
these
for a second.
mics.
Yeah,
these mics.
it's the rig.
It's picking up the
Man.
phone sound. How's that, guys?
Different?
Does it work better with your khakis down, or was that just for good luck?
That was weird.
I think it's
That fixed it.
Got it.
Fixed
got it. Yeah.
Nice.
Yep. See?
Had faith.
Yeah.
See? It just keeps cascading.
It can get this.
Dude,
All
all I
right.
can tell you
Buckle
is
it up.
that was. I straight up jiggled the handle. This is this
Jiggle
freaky
it.
dinky
David
operation.
Lynch is it wrong if I say it's too loud? It probably is.
Is it too
probably
loud?
It probably. Dave, that's coming from in-house. That's our in-house.
All right, so we have that call is coming from inside the house.
Shit.
We have billed our show as you know what? We're gonna work on this, Greg. We're gonna work on it. We have called our show 3 Simple Steps to Fixing This Defense.
Three
simple steps. We're gonna make it easy.
Yeah, pre-production.
I didn't know
You know.
that. We just talked for a half hour outside, and this wasn't even brought up once.
More sacks, more turnovers, less penalties. We'll see you guys next Tuesday night.
That was good. All right.
More
All right,
sad.
so first of all,
Maybe we should
let's-
tackle something.
Thank you very much,
let's
everybody.
Start where I wanted to start tonight, and you guys can take it wherever you want to go from there. And that is the idea that like the sky's falling. Like I just hate hearing like local sports folks get into like their routine of like they've been trained about how to be terrible, coverers of this franchise by our franchise being terrible. So it's not totally their fault, but after 3 weeks, they're questioning, is Ron Rivera the right guy? They're basically throwing it in our face like, oh, is this who you is? Are you happy with this defense? Are you happy with Chase Young now? Do you think he was good? Don't you wish we would have drafted this guy or that guy or hired this coach or got rid of that coach? I mean, now are you happy? Now are you? And I'm like, we're getting trolled by our own beat reporters. First of all,
it's terrible,
which is the worst. And so my response to that, and I think there's some differing opinions in the room, is that we've been saying it over and over. This is a rebuild. It's year 2 of it. This is the first time under the Dan Snyder regime that we've ever fully committed to tearing something pretty much all the way down, given full control over to a person who we think is the right guy to have full control, to create a culture where it's possible to be a winner for a long time, and also get young, get fast, develop the idea of how we want to play football, not just week to week, but season to season. I think that's still in progress, and that's still going well. I'll grant you the one thing, and this is what I wrote in the article today, was the most important thing is improvement. And you can say by looking at our defense after 3 weeks that it doesn't seem improved. And so that's fair.
But it has a lot to do with who we were playing.
It has a lot to do with who we're playing. So I'll turn it over to you guys by simply saying that I'm sick of being trolled by beat reporters and I'm also sick of the idea that everything that's wrong with us in week 3 is somehow evidence that we've made a bad decision in rebuilding this team. It was never going to be a 1 or a 2 year process. And last but not least, yeah, we're the division champs, but we were 7-9. The difference between last year and this year is not that shocking when you think about a team that was 7-9 last year that got younger and is still and has still yet to make a quarterback decision. I'm not okay being 1-2. I'm not okay getting blown out, but I am okay with Ron Rivera's rebuild.
You saved yourself with that last sentence. You saved yourself. I am not with you completely on that whole deal. We've argued about the semantics of a rebuild. I think we're just building off of being division champs. This is professional football. This is their job. This is, they're supposed to improve. They're supposed to get better. And on paper they were. And I am not okay with the way that they lost this weekend. That was pathetic. I mean, be in the game at least. Even when they lost the first week and they played terribly, they were still within striking distance of winning the game. This was a complete it fell apart.
Shellacking.
Oh, you want to talk about turds? This was
no. You want to talk about turds?
I do, because it was awful. I mean, I enjoyed watching the game with my kids. I even paused it for a good hour and a half to watch the last quarter, knowing we were going to get our asses handed to us, because I was enjoying it with my kids. My kids wanted to watch it, the whole thing. So, look, I'm in on it. I'm still with these guys. I'm not as far as the beat writers you're talking about. That's completely ridiculous to start thinking that the problem is Ron Rivera. It's not good right now. It's really not good right now. It wasn't good at this point last year either. So it's not time to jump off and start, firing everybody. I mean, that's the cancel culture. That's the clickbait crap that they write. They're just trying to get people riled up. That's what they do. I don't pay attention to that crap. But this past weekend was ridiculously unacceptable. And that's what you do in a rebuild. You say, look, we weren't supposed to win that game. None of us chose them to win this game except for Ken last week. Did you? Yeah, he did. He said they were going to win. But it was the way we lost. It was the way they got their asses handed to them.
There was whiskey involved.
That was very disappointing.
Nah, but listen, I think our man E.O. Anderson had it all pegged up. I hate watching our team not compete. I hate watching them not compete. I'm not saying that we were supposed to take that shellacking. We were not supposed to take it that way. It was gross. It was disturbing. Our defense, Lord knows. Listen, all I can say is it's like a clock, and it's not the second hand that's broken. If the second hand's broken, you still get minutes and hours, and you can figure it out. there's
All
some
the gears.
There's some pieces, there's some gears that, and you know what? I don't think it's that big of a fix, as if I know that. But I'm not going to go down to one player or one specific scenario. They got to get on the same page. Last year, 1-5, 2-7. We turned it around, going 5-2. I get it. I am disappointed in this. We lost to two teams, I think, that have two star quarterbacks, rising star, MVP type caliber guys that are going to be playoff contenders. Don't care. They're young enough that we can get a W there. They dominated us. They made us seem like it was year one, and they had been around the league for 5 years. That's stupid to me. The Giants are a team that I thought we would handle, and I get it. They've been tricky for us lately. We handled that division shit, and that's fine. I have no idea where we are because I didn't anticipate getting beat down like this, but those two quarterbacks diced up and sliced us up like it was our job.
You're
and listen,
right.
when you got St. Just out there as a rookie in coverage against a perennial Pro Bowler in Keenan Allen and coming back and doing it the same way the next week, that's a lot of confidence in St. Just. I get it. And I get it that he's going to have to go through some lumps to get to where he needs to get. But we got to get everyone on the same page here before it's too late.
How far off are you comfortable with him playing? And I'm sure I know scheme is
I think that's the problem.
But
right
he's
now.
scheme.
I mean, I'm not going to pretend like I know more about football than Del Rio and Rivera, and I haven't done the numbers, but I mean, how are we not getting any pressure on
So that's the
these two
shocking
guys?
thing.
How are
We're
we
rushing
not,
for a lot, I've noticed.
which I mean, where do you think I bet we rank in the bottom of the league of design blitzes, stunts, and creating ways to put pressure instead of relying on our four, first round draft picks. That's not on them. That's on. They're not being used right, and I think right now what I'm hearing from the coaches is they're not playing the scheme that they're giving them right, which something's got to give.
Well,
here.
and
All
on the
that
board,
stinks.
they're talking about. I know Greg on the board has been outspoken about St. Jude's. I mean, listen. Right now, he's who are you going to play over him?
Yo, he competes, man, and I know.
Yeah.
Listen, I get it. You're not wrong. I'm not disagreeing.
Yeah.
But when you draft a guy in the third round and you make a commitment to him, you're making a commitment to him and his errors in the first month of the season.
Yep.
Those things have to be embraced and understood, and that's part of the league. It doesn't make it any better or easier, but that's not the type of guy. And until it becomes a problem, because I'm telling you, right, he was on Keenan Allen. He was in his hip pocket. That's a veteran making plays on him.
He's making.
He's out there competing.
And you got to put as much spotlight on the
it.
great plays he's making as you're putting on the bad ones he's making.
And
'Cause
also,
he's making some great plays.
And how about this? Let's put a spotlight on the amount of time our defense has been on the football field, because in 3
More
weeks,
than anyone else.
Because in 3 weeks, an extra 26 minutes and 47 seconds. That's damn near 2 quarters of football after 3 weeks that the offense of the other team has had the ball more than us. That's insane. That's 8 minutes a game difference, 9 minutes a game difference in time of possession. I'm sorry, man. The plays are just look at this: 77 to 53 first downs, 219 to 168 plays. There's just no way to compete at that level, and we're leaving our defense out to dry offensively as well. Not to say it's offensive problem. Defense has all their issues.
But
this is a team scenario.
We're not getting. We're the worst in the league on offense on third down.
Oh,
and we're
God,
the worst in the
it's
league
so-
on defense on third down. That when you talk about time of possession and plays, I mean that's it. That's the reason we punt on we punt. I mean we're not converting third downs on offense at the league worst rate, and we are not getting off the field on defense on third downs at a league worst rate.
It's over
can't
6.
do
If
it.
you count the kneel downs on third down that we've had 2 in the last 3 weeks, if you count the kneel downs, the rate on third down when we're on defense versus the other team's offense is a 60% clip that they get it on third down. That's bonkers,
it's
and we're at a 1 and 4. So we get third down 1 every 4 tries, and the other team is at a 60% clip. Good luck out there. And to our defense, guys, those 4 guys trying to get pressure every down, and it's a 77 play to a 51 play scenario. Well, shit.
Yeah.
And I know the defense isn't playing up to snuff, but we put a lot on the defense. The offense has got to carry their weight. There's got to be guys that can sustain drives. This is the first time in the history of Ron Rivera's coaching tenure in 20 games that we have won the rushing battle and not won the game.
So,
now, that's a crazy stat due to this. They just dominated the shit out of us. But that's the first time ever, man.
To talk about the pressure again, because T said it and we watch it, right? I'm always looking to see how many are we sending, and we do send 4 a lot. And the whole premise of having 4 first round draft picks is that you're going to get one of those guys to the quarterback, and we're not. And what's worse is when they do send the extra 5 or 6, 5th or 6th guy, Justin Herbert specifically and Josh Allen specifically throw it in 1.3 seconds accurately.
To someone who has no one within 5 yards of him, which it's just baffling.
And that was the St. Juice thing for me. And to me, it's a scab because in our history of defensive coordinators, and I don't think this is a Jack Del Rio issue, but I do think of things in terms of Joe Barry and Mike Nolan and for goodness sake, Greg Minuski and watching cornerbacks be 10 yards off the ball and watching quarterbacks to say, well, okay, I'm just gonna throw it to him right now, real fast, and then he'll just get 6 yards because it's there. So to me, like the biggest thing on defense is something. It's clearly not. It hasn't worked in 3 weeks. I don't think they're gonna scrap everything that they want to do. But to me, like the scheme definitely has to be tweaked and.
How about adding
linebackers.
things to keep people honest? I mean, we talk about this offensively because I think, Kevin, you and I think from an offensive standpoint, right? You run the ball sometimes when you know you're not even going to be successful at it, but you still have to do it, right? To let them know, well, they're still going to run this.
You have to.
Yeah, you have to be mindful. Oh, shit, they did that. How is it any different on defense? How is it not running stunts, putting them in blitzes to make the other team say, "Oh shit, we got to make sure that's not." Well, he just went by me. What the fuck? I mean, that's how it's supposed to work, right? And I don't see any of that. Again, I'm not about to pretend like I know more than Del Rio, but I know enough about football that I don't see something that I think should be happening, and it's not happening.
I know this. When I get into my outfit and I got my food ready and the family's going there and there's some cold drinks ready to rock and roll and I'm sitting down, I crack my knuckles, got the TV on, and the other team just shoves it directly up our butthole, a full-size pigskin, directly for an appetizer at 107. At 107 every Sunday or 8:27 on Thursday. The first thing digested is rectal, and it hurts.
You've always been
and you're
better
like, wait a minute.
You've always been better at painting a picture.
Why did we just get rammed? Like we just got rammed. I just sat down. My couch spot's not warm yet, you bastards.
And the first 2 weeks,
teased us, though. It was
the first 2 weeks we
21-0,
actually got better after the first drive. This week we didn't. The first 2 weeks when they did take that 7 points on the first drive, things tightened up, and for the rest of the game we were better. This week was not that. This week, the opening drive was indicative of how the whole game was going to go. Now,
how many of you though got a little giggly after recovering that kickoff?
So wait, but hold on, we're jumping
holy
around.
crap.
We're jumping around. Let's talk. Because the opening drive thing is an issue, and that because you have all week long to prepare for how you're going to hit the field. It's the same thing how you do on offense. We haven't been exceptionally good on our first offensive drive either. I think it's been quite some time since we scored an opening drive touchdown. So on defense, we're giving it up right away, and on offense, we're getting off the field right away. The one thing, the thing that I loved when they came out with J.D. McKissick as a starting running back, the first thing you think of is we're gonna come passing, and they ran. It was like an 8 or 9 yard run, and all of a sudden we were off and going, and then there was nothing going on behind that.
I gotta believe that they've been scored upon in all three openers because they know what they're doing. They don't change anything. They know what the Skins are going to do defensively, and they're ready for it. They've scripted it out. We haven't done anything to knock anybody off or kind of get them off schedule. It just hasn't happened because I don't think we are doing anything that is making anybody worry about it.
It just makes no sense to me whatsoever, knowing personnel, understanding what we did last year, how we improved as the season went on, what we did after giving up a ton of yards early in the season. Not a ton, but enough to cause worry and trepidation about Chase Young and the whole thing. We turned it around. We got things straightened out. And it wasn't just because of a backloaded NFC East schedule that it was sparsely created throughout the season last year. I can't understand for the life of me, so I'm not going to ever stop believing that this team is as talented as we've had in a long time. And I know that's on paper, but we also saw a lot of that on the field last year. And I'm not certain what the one problem is or if there's a whole bunch of shit or whatever the deal is, but I know this. We have the talent, we have the ability, we have the personnel to succeed. And maybe we're just not as good as the two teams that blew us out of the water, but the Giants game is the one that freaks me out. So if Atlanta, who is coming in under the schedule right on time, and I know it's down there, and they started off, they opened up as the favorite. I think we're We're now the favorite.
We're the favorite.
Yeah, we are. But it opened up in Vegas at a -1 on the road. But if we can't handle business down there, then we're just a different team than I thought. The Giants thing, we know. We know NFC East trickery. We understand that they have been taking it to us 4 in a row. And we understand they took 12 of the last 16 for no damn reason. That's some NFC East stuff. This Atlanta Falcons team is not good.
We match up well, and this is going to be the last time we match up well with an opponent for a while. Sorry, everybody. We're going to have to get things right against Atlanta because it's going to be a rough stretch. But we do match up well with them. Matt Ryan is not a mobile quarterback. He is smart. He's capable of throwing the ball quickly, but he's a little long in the tooth. And if you
he was never an athlete either.
And he was never an athlete.
This is right on
if
time.
If Montez Sweat and Chase Young can get right this week by getting to him and making him just know that they're there and feeling their presence, that's going to be a huge difference.
But no matter how old he is, or how unathletic he is, or how downhill he might be from his peak, he's an NFL quarterback that if he has time to step into a throw, he is going to slice this defense up like butter. I don't care how good you are on the back end. You can't.
I disagree with you.
No.
He
If
hasn't
he has
done
the
shit.
time,
Well,
he's a
slice aside. He doesn't have the weapons.
Heineke can do it if he has the time.
He has the weapons.
Anybody can do it.
I don't think Calvin Ridley is getting like 6-7 catches for 80 yards. Cordarrelle Patterson is their next guy. If this guy slices and dices us, it's over.
It's over.
It's
it'd be
over. We all mail it in. If Matt Ryan slices, who's averaging like 240 yards a game and has thrown 4 interceptions already, slices and dices us, then we got to mail it in.
All right, so
they don't have the guys for him to do this to us. And listen, he's had a great career. I'm not dogging him, but sheesh.
All right, so let's stick with the first 3 weeks just a little bit more, and then we'll put it to bed for this purpose of this show, and that is special teams. The board is getting a little slice for special teams, and rightfully so. Dustin Hopkins, who has been much maligned by people in this room right now, he had a huge, ridiculous.
I don't hate him or anything. He's so boringly average. That's all.
and he so we're. He kind of helped us get back in this game.
He did.
Made us think for a second that we had a shot.
I did.
Of course. And it was a weird play, but Tress Way has, been doing what he does. I think that in general, we're covering well. Special teams, I'm encouraged by because they play a hell of a lot for us.
Yay, special teams.
No, they're always on the field. So
Yay.
at least they're not
Talking
effing
about
up.
Kickers?
I know. What's our special teams time of possession?
Yeah, our special teams time of possession, it has to lead the league.
Especially with Tress Way's hang
celebrate
time.
that just for a second. DeAndre Carter might be on the verge of breaking one at some point.
Yeah. I mean.
So, all right. So on offense, so I feel like on defense, I think we need, Jamin Davis had a better game. He looked a little bit more comfortable out there. He made he had that big 4th down stop. He was in the right place a few times in general, which I think is great. I think to me, I'm going to pose this to you guys.
He's not going to be Ray Lewis overnight.
I'll pose this to you guys, and you guys can tell me what you think. He is his development is ultimately what is, I don't want to use the word holding back, but keeping our scheme from fully evolving. He's not out there a lot. For a first-round middle linebacker, he's not on the field as much as you would hope a stud middle linebacker is, and I think part of that is because he's coming along. If he gets where they want him to be, which I would hope would be in the next week or few weeks, hopefully by this week. But when he starts snapping at 70+%, and I don't think that he's been near that this season, but when he's able to snap that way, I think then you're going to see a slightly different scheme that is directly a result of our linebackers being more what they want them to be. Because right now, the middle of the field is up for grabs. Almost every play.
Let me say this. Cole Holcomb is flying around.
Yes, he is.
Plays everywhere. Dude had 14 tackles, I think 10 solo, and he's the guy that's flying around and playing confidently and making up for some of the lack of whatever the hell the word is out of Jamin Davis and anyone else. But as long as John Bostic's on the field, and I know everyone loves the clown John Bostic, but all these metrics come out, and I understand that he's been targeted in pass protection 16 times for 15 receptions, 197 yards,
Boss Steakhouse?
and 400 first downs. Yes. So,
400?
So from what I understand, from one of these PFF, FOGA, whatever,
it was
so
398.
take it for what it's worth. But 16 times he's been targeted in the past game, 15 receptions, 197 yards, and 400 first downs. So that's pretty not good. And I don't want to sit there and just say it's one person's fault. That's too easy. But he's always just been like the renegade fill-in guy, and everyone else is these guys. And, we got this separation of these guys, and everyone talks about how the safeties are playing. The corners are coming around, apparently.
We're not there yet in the middle of the field, and it shows. And the smart quarterbacks.
Yeah, but I like Holcomb doing what he's doing.
Holcomb's doing great.
We need Heineke to get some more reps, or we need something to. Our linebacking crew could use a little jolt of veteran presence, or maybe it's in the room. I don't know, man, but it doesn't seem like it's working out great right now.
Nope. All right, so on offense, everyone. The big question is, everyone trying to act like we've made some colossal error in in thinking that Taylor Heineke was going to be our franchise quarterback, which is a complete false narrative. No one ever thought that. We didn't sign him to be our franchise quarterback, nor do we legitimately think he was going to become our guy. The whole premise of this offseason was build a roster around a serviceable quarterback room led by a crafty veteran who had a little bit of juice left in him in Ryan Fitzpatrick. That's what we did, and that's what we're still doing. So, I don't think we're necessarily – I love Ryan Fitzpatrick in this offense. I thought we would be a little bit better, but we're not, way worse off because Heineke's on the field. We're playing exactly the way we expected coming into the season, which is put the guy who's healthy, the best guy we have in that room on the field, and everyone else around him has got to do their job. So on offense, aside from that one long Antonio Gibson play, which he balled out and showed legitimate speed, breakaway speed.
Wow,
it was awesome. It was awesome. But besides that play, really you had Terry McLaurin winning one-on-one battles, which is what he always does, and Logan Thomas, being slightly above average and not a whole lot else. And was that a function of their blitz? Was that a function of Taylor Heineke not seeing J.D. McKissick wide open in the flat? What did you guys think we were not failing at, but not succeeding at enough on offense?
That's one of the best defenses in the league. Go ahead, T. And I think that was part of our failure.
Yep.
Rate.
Well, okay, so it does not surprise me that in his fourth full start, you're starting to see why he hasn't been. At one point, he wasn't even in the league. I'm talking about Heineke, right? Again, he's a great backup, okay? He's a smart guy, doesn't need reps, can understand an offense, and can be serviceable when he's in the game. I do agree with Rivera. He needs to manage the game better. This game exposed him for a lot of reasons, right? He wasn't able to throw on time, and when he didn't throw on time, he threw it late and outside with a weak arm. I mean, that's not going to it's not going to happen at the NFL level. It's just not, right? If you get him off his rhythm, if you can get him to second guess, and he needs to pull it down a little bit more, use his legs, not get hurt, but get one or two, okay? Get one or two. Don't try to make a big hero throw. He needs to manage the game better. He can't be a hero. He's not a hero. He just needs to do the smart thing and let, as we've been saying, these weapons that are around him make the plays, right? It just wasn't. It was a terrible execution this past weekend against a good defense.
Let me take a quick.
I got to call a timeout on that too.
I just want not a timeout on this to go to the board real fast.
Okay.
Good-looking honky is on our board now. We need everyone else involved here to do a little bit of research because this has been a few years running. Now we're being told Peter North is on our board tonight and is a longtime Redskins fan who's been attending games at FedEx Field in a fake beard for decades. I can neither confirm nor deny this.
Good-looking honky is the tagline.
So if that's really you, sir,
Welcome, Peter.
Welcome. I don't know really where else to go with that.
Be careful who you welcome into the. I don't know because
it's a welcoming place.
It is a welcoming place.
I know, but I hope it's not a Trojan horse, sirs.
Yeah, I hope it's not.
Be careful what you two wish for. Peter North doesn't just show up every Tuesday.
He's been showing up for a lot of Tuesdays. I got to be honest. And I remember like the last couple seasons, and he's all right. Hey, we're gonna take you at your word, and we're gonna say welcome to you, sir. You're by far the most famous person on the show tonight, besides Benjamin the Bear, obviously.
Yeah, but never mind. I have so many beard questions, but I'm not even.
And there's a huge wood thing there. So, anyways,
So what did Peter North think of my rant on Heineke?
Well, I'm going to tell you what Peter North was thinking, and it's because I can feel what Peter North's thinking right now. What he's thinking is to say T finally got start 4 out of Heineke, so he could crush him because in his first 3 starts, no. How about hold on a second. Let me finish. In his first 3 starts, he threw for more yards than any quarterback in NFL history in their first 3 starts in the history of the sport. So you've been waiting on week 4 to just come in here and clubber lang him to the throat. How about we somehow ring the bell for in the first 3 starts and anyone who's ever started in the greatest league in the history of sport? No one's done for more yards than Taylor Heineke. So he's pouncing on week 4, and I'm thinking that might be a tad bit too soon. That's all. That's my only point. That's all I had to say about this. Go ahead there, sir.
All right. Taylor Heineke is our guy. He'll be there on Sunday, and we're gonna take what we can get out of Taylor Heineke. And I don't think he's the problem. At the end of the day,
he wasn't the solution either. I do not that want to be.
It was a big part of the problem this past weekend.
Well, I would also argue our defense was also a big part of the problem.
He wasn't great, but I don't know. I don't know if he put.
He just needs to play smarter.
He wasn't great.
He just needs to play smarter. He can play smarter.
He's been pretty damn freaking fantastic when he dives into the end zone, when he leads.
Yep. Oh, that was great.
We haven't had a team follow a guy like that. So,
watching him do that,
I'm going to be a little more
great.
patient with him because of those intangibles.
He got humbled. He did.
And we're scoring enough points to win games.
He needed it.
Giving up way too many points to win
He's
games.
going to learn from it, and he's going to play smarter, more mistake-free football, and that's going to allow this team to be in games. Is it going to win him games? Yeah, it's going to help him. It's not going to lose him games. But this past weekend, he was a big part of the loss.
I know. Well, we've already had our comments here. Okay. You and I are on probably not different, but we're not in the same conversation here. He wasn't great, dude, but I wasn't like Taylor Heineke. We got our asses whipped at the line of scrimmage and embarrassed. So there's a lot of things to talk about if we want to go there. But
I prefer instead to recall that we were 1-5 to begin.
2-7, 1-5.
We got to 2-7.
Yeah, we had some bullshit.
And that the I know
it's a tough way to earn a living.
I know that everyone wants to talk about schedule, and we're not going to have a schedule conversation tonight. But we know who we know who we have to play, and I say, great. My whole thing is let's get better, and we're going to be able to get better. If iron truly sharpens iron, we're going to be playing some Iron Bowls in the next.
The only team that's given up more points than us and scored less, I believe. The Iron Falcons.
Atlanta Iron Falcons.
That's so we are. We're definitely there's some iron sharpening iron going down here.
So you know,
I'm worried Griff's gonna hop out there and just take care of business at some point.
Man, you know what? Hat tip to the head of coaching operations for the Atlanta Iron Falcons. Who is going to guard Kyle Pitts?
I don't know. He's only got like 5 catches.
I understood.
I don't think that's like someone's like, who's going to guard Kyle
I'm
Pitts?
just asking.
But if it's Bostic's ass, it looks like he's going to get 15
he's gonna have a
targets
career
for
day.
$197 and 400 first down.
It's kind of where I'm going here.
5 targets, 4 catches. Is that what you said?
5 targets, 4 catches, 83 yards, possibly a teeter.
Yeah.
But you know what? He's a freak of nature, and they don't have a ton of weapons, so they got to use him, Cordarrelle Patterson, and Ridley. And, their boy Mike Davis, he gets like 2.3 yards per carry, and if he gets any more than that against us, it's a problem. Cordarrelle Patterson's been everyone's half-ass offensive solution. Me too.
I love him.
But if he ever was on a good-ass team, they'd be nasty with him. His problem is he's like the second option as the receiver and runner on every Minnesota, and now here in Atlanta and New England for a year. He's like a punt returner, and he's a big, bad man.
I love him.
He is. He's a physical specimen, but let's be honest. Every time we play a team with him as their second focal point on offense, it's not a good damn offensive team.
Nope.
Just by bad luck for him.
Yep.
But they feature guys like him. Come on, man. He's
Who is on our defensive starting 11? Who do you guys have as the player who makes the biggest jump from their first 3 weeks? Where does the production come from? Because I think
it better be Chase Young with all the shit going
or
on. Our leader,
I'll
it's
even
got to
take
be
Montez.
Chase Young.
I'll even take Montez.
I'll take Montez.
But
That's
I
fine.
think it's going to have to be one of those two guys. I think from a production standpoint, I feel that, like, we know what they can do. We know what they're capable of, and they're just not getting the production. But the numbers, all these numbers on the paper, all the numbers that from PFF and snap counts and team stats, we have no production on defense. We have such a lack of production that it's going to take a player. It's going to have to be a player. We argue team effort all the time. Our team isn't getting it done.
It does have to be a
somebody has to step up in a huge, gigantic, crazy way.
It has to be the leader that keeps talking about it. There better be no bullshit again, and this, that, and the other. And me and Montez are going to set the all-time sack record, and he hasn't got it yet. And it's got to be our guy. And I love him. I'm not giving him a hard time. But when he sacks, old man Matty Ice is thawed out, man. There's no more ice. He's just like an old cat that's going to be
Lukewarm
sitting right
water.
there. He's not avoiding any pressure, man. They're going to get rid of the ball in 1.1 second, like everyone else does to us. But man, this is the first chance we have to actually land one of these, a couple set. It's got to be him, because the first time he gets to Matt Ryan, that's when this defense you guys know it's contagious.
Yep.
And the big plays are contagious, and the good weeks are contagious, and the good practices, and everything rolls into production. If we can get off the edge and disturb Matt Ryan and shake him up and make him feel like Montez and Chase are coming, especially when Chase lands 1, 2, or maybe 3, he has to have that breakout game for the guys. That's what I think, man.
He needs help. He needs help. Like we said at the beginning, it's a team effort. I mean, good Lord, this is another turd bowl game.
No.
And yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Every week can't
but if
be a
you look
turd
at it
bowl.
half glass full, it's with the team that wins is the team that doesn't.
what's
You
that
can't
glass
incorporate
full?
a turd
Second-best
and a
turd
half glass full.
of the day.
That's a turd.
No,
There's a turd and a half glass.
they're laying turds.
Half a glass of turd?
They gotta stop laying turds.
Is it like does it come out like is it like a fancy
Soft serve?
Bloody Mary, like with bacon and everything else?
Little celery.
They need to move out of the poopy stage.
Don't go celery because Peter North's on there. That's just
Sorry.
that's ferocious.
Sorry.
You
I meant
savage.
to say sweet potato.
Peter North, of all people, knows what it means to improve with performance.
I think we need to
you
stop
understand?
referencing.
I don't know. I'm not entirely sure what you're
He
going
does.
with here.
No, he does. He's yeah.
When's the last time you saw Peter North in action, bro?
There you go.
It's been a while. No offense.
It's
Peter.
official.
No offense.
No
buddy. I'm
offense,
sorry.
Dude.
No offense. You're
Been a
not a
long time.
master swordsman. You
Been
don't
a
have
long
to
time.
apologize for not.
No, first of all, he's in the Hall of Fame, and he's like 65
all right,
years
all
old.
right, all right. Listen, bro. We're not having an HOF question about this is just.
I got to ask the question. I just answered it. I don't know. What the hell?
Good lord.
All right. So
Stop laying turds. Play football for
All right.
crying out loud. Get things right.
All right. So
It's not on any one person. It's this is a whole effort.
2-2 is a whole lot better than we started off last year.
that's where I'm going. That's where I'm going. If we are 2-2, there's a different feeling in town, and I'm not trying to say it's the difference. And all of a sudden, you got the trolls who work for the radio stations and the newspapers necessarily go away, because they'll say the opposite next. If we win, they'll be like, oh well, yeah, now they just
Rivera buys another week.
Yeah, it's so I'm not. All I care about is improvement. If we can get ourselves right against Atlanta, then we at least have a chance against some of these teams that we're going to have to play in the next 3 or 4 weeks. The 1-3 scenario is bad. It's really bad.
Oh, that's when the grandpas and them start talking quarterback, and that's when
Yeah.
all of it starts trickling. But whatever, man. I don't know if Rivera's a slow starter. He's never been historically. I don't know what our deal is, but I know we got the right guys there to figure it out. We believe in them. We've seen what they've done. They've changed the culture. We've drafted properly. We've got the guy. I don't understand why people just slice and dice us. I just don't get it. We need to have. There has to be an epiphany of some sorts, and I hope it's our guys that figure it out.
And let me
before it's too late.
throw this at you guys, because this is a classic us argument, not us, but like Washington fan base argument that I got a healthy dose of this week, which was the idea that they're looking at the Rams and Sean McVay going all in a major way for Matt Stafford, Given Jalen Ramsey, obviously top dollar. They have a lot of money spent there. They've essentially, quote unquote, mortgaged the future for some of these players.
They don't have a first round draft pick till 2024 or 25, I believe.
And everyone's like, well, wouldn't you rather? But we're quote unquote doing it the right way and saving our draft capital, and which, for the record, is exactly what I want us to be doing. But I have a real hard time trying to act like I should be arguing with people who are comparing where the Rams were before they added Matt Stafford to
Super Bowl 2 years ago, 3 years ago.
Yeah, to where we are right now, where we literally told our head coach, we just drafted this guy. We just drafted a guy in the first round at quarterback. If you like him, great. If you don't, feel free to cut him. And he did. That to me, that's what a rebuilding team. If you're committed to it, you have the luxury of making a decision like that. 85% of the teams in this league would never have cut Dwayne Haskins because you don't do that. But we did it because Ron Rivera said, "Hey, we're gonna rip it out and kill it if it's not making us better." And in year 2, I do think that we're better as an organization. Man, Rivera's quote, I believe it was today, maybe it was yesterday, I could be mistaken, when he said, scratching his head and saying, "Hey, I see what you guys are seeing. We're not showing you how good I think we're better than what you guys are seeing and what I'm seeing, and so there's a leap from saying those words to putting it down on Sunday. The one thing that stands out to me though, and it's a little bit of a lighter side thing, is, man, can we just have our players stop running into walls?
Yeah, that was weird.
I watched that a million times, and I was trying to understand.
But at least Sheriff didn't do it like
I understand.
out of like celebration.
Right.
I mean, he was trying to avoid something.
Yeah.
And he just knocked the wind
and there
out
was
of him.
talk about how there's that track.
Yeah,
around.
yeah.
I've slipped on those before. I mean, this
I
was back
saw
when
it,
I could
yeah.
play and could
Yeah.
walk.
And they're putting the field
But you
closer.
slide on 'em.
Stands closer and closer to the field
And I think
now.
he was trying to protect himself more than anything, and it
knocked the wind out of him.
Well, he just got in a weird spot. I don't think it's a trend of the.
No, it's not a trend, but
If it can happen, we can do it.
That's the kind of the thing I'm thinking of. If you put a wall close enough to the field, chances are one of our guys are going to run into it and knock themselves out. He got back in the game. It doesn't seem like it's going to be anything long term. And Gus, we trust, obviously. But the idea that this team can make a tiny step this week and parlay that into 1 or 2 wins in the next 2 or 3 weeks. I asked T this question and the board this question last week, Kevin, and I'll ask you now. The season ends with 5 NFC East games. Mm-hmm. The key to making the playoffs is winning your division. How many wins do we need before we hit that stretch to have a chance to win the division?
How many wins do we need before that stretch? We need to go through.
So we have 12 games. So in 12 games, how many wins do we need out of 12?
It's a minimum of 6, and I said it would be 7. So it's 6.
6 and 6?
We have to be 6 to be in the mix. Yes,
because Dallas looks pretty good.
Dallas, yeah, and guess what? This is the best part about letting the season unfold and it being 3 weeks into a 17-game season. Dak Prescott's a badass. You guys know I love him. I think he is. He's the most lovable Dallas player I've ever known. I have a hard time hating him.
More so than Romo?
Let's just say Dak's my guy.
Okay.
Dak takes a lot of hits. Dak makes a lot of plays. Dak's got the ball in his hands a ton. There's a chance that...
There's 12 weeks before we get the NFC schedule.
And I don't wish that upon anybody, but it's just what happens in this...
Yeah.
In the
he
greatest,
got hit last night a couple times.
Conference in sport. It's what happens. And he's a big burly man, but the last time I checked, a year ago he played on that field, his ankle was turned the other way. And he's a badass for coming out. And their defense looked great. They look young and exciting and blah, blah, blah. I love them looking good week 3. Congratulations. We're the type of team that gets better and better. I didn't think we'd be starting from here. I didn't think we'd get dominated by Buffalo quite like that, but I didn't think we beat them on the road. We had a chance against San Diego, who freaking Justin Herbert shows up against Dallas. He's got 3 games. He's looked like a Hall of Famer twice and average against Dallas. It just chaps my ass that down in Dallas
That
he
grinds
would
my
play
gears.
an average game, then turn around last week and do what he did against Kansas City. He outdueled
outplayed Pat Mahomes.
He was a stud, man.
He's the best player on the field.
That's what's happened to us so far. So let's not get too far into. If we lose to Atlanta, then we can start. Then we can start a different little angle on things. But come on, man.
How many wins do we need to Damian before we get to NFC? So we have 12 games. What do we got to be? 5. It was like 6. 5.5 is not going to cut it.
Yeah, we're looking for a thick ass 6 here.
That would be a
gentlemen.
tie.
We're
Would that be a
gonna
tie in there? 5.5 would be a tie. Which Ken loves.
No, 5.5 isn't. There's no such thing as 5.5 wins. I didn't want
Tie.
to. A tie is not anything.
Gives you something.
It helps a good team. But anyways, but we won't go there this week. All right, so let's do, before we get into any other things, let's do some final score predictions for this Sunday's game. Anyone want to lead off?
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do it.
Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and do it. It's gonna be 31-17. Good guys. We get a W. They score late. The game is handled. We handle our business. Defense gets out. We have some feel good shit before we head into a serious portion of home versus New Orleans and KC, and on the road versus Green Bay and Denver before bye week. Yeah, man. Yeah, you don't get this W. You're scratching your head to see where that next one's coming from.
Yep. Yeah, because if you can't beat Atlanta, it's hard to imagine you can beat some of those other teams.
Right, and New Orleans hasn't looked like world beaters. No, their record
No.
suggests that they're pretty
Their
tough.
defense looks pretty damn
Their
good.
defense is legit. But listen, if Jameis keeps sucking all those fingers, I'm not going to be too scared because it's going to be the ball gets slippery and just things get weird at that point.
Yeah.
KC, Green Bay. I don't know what happened to Aaron Rodgers. He's playing Aaron Rodgers ball again, but he looks like seriously a deviant of some sort.
Did you see that thing, that meme that was going around? It was some like local news. It was a rash of carburetor thefts, and it was like all these local criminals, and then in the bottom corner was Aaron Rodgers' picture, and he looked like the biggest criminal of them all. It was like that. Do not like. Oh, it was amazing. T, what's the final score?
I don't have as much confidence. I think it's going to be 24-10, though. I think the defense finally kind of has the turnaround game a little bit. They show some signs of what they can be, and I still think that the offense is going to be okay. I think they're going to be okay. I say 24-10.
AGH has a 16-14 win. It sounds like our defense gets back
Is
on
Eo
track.
Anderson it was the winner chicken
He
dinner
was
from
spot
last
on,
week?
Yeah,
right?
correct?
well, yeah, he
So,
was. Where do you got EO?
We're gonna have to find that
you
one
gotta
out.
ring in.
and maybe the board all just chips in $10, and then we all just we'll all share it in Vegas. We'll split it up equally.
Equally, guys.
How's
Everyone's
that
gonna get a
Vegas
piece
trip
of that.
going? Are we?
Rhett's in charge of planning it.
Rhett's in charge?
Yeah, he's in
Okay.
charge.
Yeah, come on, Rhett.
Greg also has us winning. You said 24-10, T? That's what Greg said. Greg said 24-10.
Good man, Greg.
I keep thinking we're going to get to 30 points. We did, obviously, against the Giants. I think we're a 30-point team again this week, and I'm going to say it's 30 on the nose. 30-17 Skins.
So I take 31-17, and at least, well, you're screwed.
He just prices right.
Yeah, he's screwed. He's
no,
screwed himself.
I priced this right at Kevin
yeah,
for
Yeah,
him.
he
He
did.
did, yeah.
He did. It's bullshit.
I just 28-24 Skins. EO Anderson.
I mean, if someone says 31-17, don't just say 30-17.
Should say 32.
How about 30-20?
No, you can't change it now.
No, because I think that we're going to
He
give
only
him a couple
changed
field
the other
goals.
one.
No, now he has 2. No, because no matter what, my dad does it. Now
I'll
he
say
has
some
2.
more. I can say some
the
more.
first one I meant the second one. I know you can. You can say some more.
34-21.
No. We're doing.
28,
It's the first thing out. That's what we're doing.
Yeah, I can just throw a lot of numbers. In case anyone's looking for an update on the Chicago-Connecticut WNBA playoff game, Connecticut's up by 167-66
It's
in
an
the fourth
entertaining
quarter.
game.
It is. Turn it on, everybody. After, of course, you finish watching this. Hey, what else do we got here tonight, guys? I mean, we got. I mean, I'm just everyone. I heard people throwing out. Hitting the panic button. Getting all
No.
fired up. I'm not there.
It's not time to panic. Don't panic. It's not time to panic. I mean, it was worse, I think, last year at this time.
Nobody freak out. Everyone, stay calm.
Everybody,
Dude, how about
keep
this?
it together.
Last year at this time, we had more first downs as an offense. We were better on third down as an offense.
Ooh.
We ran more plays as an offense.
Yeah.
we.
With Dwayne Haskins at quarterback?
We rushed for more yards as an offense, and we had better time of possession as an offense and more points as an
Is
offense.
Dwayne Haskins available?
So I'm just saying.
He is going to get his redemption.
It might mean that what happened the last
People
3
are calling
weeks
for
was a better
Roethlisberger.
team beat us. Roethlisberger
They're
looks like
asking him
he
to-
looks like Scarecrow, Big Ben Scarecrow in the pit, like at Halloween, and they come back to get him, and he the wind blows, and he's like, "Ear," and he kind of gets out of the way, but not so much.
I think they're soon going to tell him to go show up at this stadium when they're really playing at that stadium, and just hope everything goes fine.
Yeah, maybe they'll just Scarecrow pin his.
But
ass
who's it
up
going to
the-
be? Is it going to be
the Hall of
Rudolph, or is it
Stars?
going to be Haskins?
I don't know, but I think
I wouldn't want to have to pull the trigger on that decision. In a
I have
big
way worse
conference
news.
game.
I have way worse news
no,
for
I know,
everyone
I
out
know.
there. We're not gonna end all the way on it, but we're gonna pretty much end on it, and that is you're gonna need to line up some audio alternatives for this Sunday. Mark Sanchez is
I sent you guys that today.
calling our game.
Oh God damn it!
he's going to be
appreciate
in
the
the
highlight.
booth for our
Appreciate
game.
your highlighting
And
skills.
it
Why?
is
Just why?
it is curtains for me. There's no chance I'm listening to 1 second of that.
That's who gets the Turd Bowl. Mark Sanchez gets the Turd Bowl
of all,
on Sundays.
When I saw on Twitter
We
today that Mark
always get
Sanchez
that
is calling
guy.
our game after Ken was there, I took my. Never mind. I can't even say it out loud
Pumpkin
anymore.
spice
This guy.
drinking
And by the way, you guys know
Chihuahua
this.
toting.
My uncle was his pee-wee ball coach in Mission Viejo back in the day. The dad was like faking wheelchair. He was kicked out of the stadium. Then he'd fake get dressed up in a wheelchair and have like another family member like roll him in, and he'd be like,
as a person in
Oh,
a
yeah.
wheelchair, I really take
yeah, so that's Mr. Sanchez
I mean-
though. That's the dad. So what I'm saying is, let's blame
Apple
the
doesn't
dad,
fall
not the
far
mark.
from the tree.
Very true. But he was brought up this way in a terrible environment. Like everyone was like, he left town forever. He came back. He was like, hey. Like after he retired, he moved back into the neighborhood, and everyone was like, nah, dude. Like, you haven't been here in like 20 some years. You had a little mini dog in a purse for a while, and why is he the face of our?
It's what's great.
Why is he the face of our like disgustingness?
The man
don't
responsible for the butt fumble gets to criticize the Washington football team.
Yeah,
on
when you're
Sunday.
most famous for your ass cheeks,
He's
fumbling
probably-
the football,
and he's probably not good.
someone else's ass cheeks
I'm
forcing
sure
you
he
to
kind of
fumble.
want to get. He wants to give some, a little bit back and kind of be like, "F you guys."
What, dude? He has nothing. I mean, he knows how bad he was for us.
He got a check from Dan Snyder. He
Yeah.
walked in with a tiny dog.
A
He
tiny
went like
dog and a scarf.
He was like 6 for 20,
and,
He wore a
and a
scarf.
pumpkin spice latte.
and then he got benched for a guy that was playing like
or was it a tea?
for like the
Chai. It was chai.
the Foxborough Piggies and like a Division II
semi-pro league.
Yeah.
So I like. Why can't we turn this on Sunday? With the you can't obviously you can't see the game on our screen, but is that like totally wrong? Can we
It would be illegal.
really
Yes.
I think it would be
on
like
digital?
you're gonna get totally. It's gonna be a double.
Which is
It's
the
gonna be a
whole
full
premise.
Nelson from Roger.
Which is the whole
It's gonna be
premise
a full
behind
Nelson
A full
from
Peter
Roger.
North
Yeah.
situation.
It's the whole premise behind the Manning
no,
cast.
no.
The Manning
Yeah,
cast,
In
by the way.
fact, I rinse my hands.
You can't rinse anything.
Your
Don't
premise is the Manning cast, by the way.
rinse.
We've
Our
done
whole
this
show is the
before.
Manning cast.
We've done all the drafts together. We've sat here and done it all. It's been fun to like live simulcast the whole and talk our crap about what we want, what it means to us, and what it means to Hawkshaven.
I wonder,
The Mannings are a little different. I'm gonna be honest.
They're
Like,
great.
They got to do what they got to do. And you know what? People are gonna watch. I haven't watched yet.
I
but I've
watched
seen all the
it.
Twitter
No,
clips.
I find it very entertaining. If it was the Washington football team, I would not watch it because I would be focused more on the game than I am on all the other stuff going on. It's entertaining. There is a little bit of Manning overload at times, and you're kind of like, all right, that was, I mean, it's up and down, but for the most part, it is entertaining. It's
So
fun to
who would
watch a
shut us
game.
down? Snyder? Because I like if we're
Oh,
not,
you don't think you guys have talked about the NFL to
yeah.
law enforcement?
Oh, they would
they'd be
find
knocking.
us.
Oh yeah,
It'd
hell
be
yeah,
hard
they'd-
to find little old us,
Yes.
but they'd find us.
You know that little thing that pops up? I don't know if you ever pay attention much to that little thing that pops up at the end of the game that says.
Well, we're not
this is-
rebroadcasting anything.
But I don't think you can do it simultaneously at the same time.
I don't think so either. But I'm just saying, like, if I ever, like, if there was ever, when you were like, you think like if there's ever a reason to break a law, it's if Mark Sanchez is broadcasting your team. Like that's to me, like that's like the, like that's the reason.
Like, what is he gonna say that doesn't make you want to just?
Yeah, I can't listen to it. I can't listen to it, and I won't. I'll talk into this microphone by myself for the whole game, and it'll be terrible, but it'll be better than Mark Sanchez. All right, well,
Mark
you knew we were going to
Sanchez.
get to that point at some point, getting the F team for the broadcast roster, and that's what we got. So, cheers to us, I guess. And you know what? To me, that's as much a reason as needing the win this week as anything else. Because if we don't win this week, can you imagine who they're going to bring out the broadcast to be in the booth for us in subsequent games? I mean, Mark Sanchez is bad enough, and we're only 1-2 with the possibility of getting better.
First man. I'm just saying.
Oh, I mean, that would be great
Like,
for us.
Can you guys get shit faced and just be a little entertaining? I would say we'll do our best. We can nail that first part. The second part is going to be up to you.
Mm-hmm. I got you. All right.
Does it get worse than Mark Sanchez?
I don't think so, man.
Name me a color guy.
I don't want to talk to him at church,
Other
the
than Joe
grocery store,
Theismann,
on
name
the
me a color
street,
guy that's worse.
in the elevator. There's nowhere that I want to be like, Mark Sanchez. Well, I mean, what? Where would that be cool? Like, hey, like you don't even put that on. You don't take a picture. You don't put it on Facebook. You pretend you didn't see him, and you just look away. In case,
AGH is asking about
in case he
RG3.
recognizes.
What if RG3 is in the booth? He's for ESPN, so we would not get him. He would not be.
Oh my God,
but,
Jesus!
But we do have some.
If I want like to go 111%, you just have to try 115%.
No pressure, no diamonds.
All in week one. Like, no, you can't just live your life that way on social media every day. Like, what up, girl? Here's our dinner. Oh, man, I love my daughter. Like, listen here, MFer. I know you're full of shit. You're out there straight clocking hose the whole time you were here. Stop pretending on social media that you're some great. Do you say cut it off or like?
No.
I thought that was like that.
No.
Like RG3's my boy. Don't put him
No.
out there.
Oh
that
no.
way.
Yeah,
he was straight clocking hose.
You took off there real quick on that. That was.
Now he's like all buttoned up.
I was
like,
excited to see where that was
whatever
going.
happened to his first wife and daughter? Like we always see the second wife and daughter. What happened to the first wife
It's
and
called
daughter?
hush money.
It's so
Whoa,
gross. No, it's not
okay,
hush money.
okay,
They were
hey,
married.
allegedly.
No, they
were
were
allegedly.
married.
I know,
Now
but
they're not,
what-
and he's just
and they
said,
signed
"Go
a-
away."
But they don't.
Yeah.
You know,
A non-disclosure
it's not
was
hush
inked.
money.
Just
It's
I
called
know,
alimony.
I know. But
live
no
live
one's
a
hushing
great
up.
life and be quiet.
No, it's so gross. He's so weird. But guess what? He told Mark Sanchez that he would be interested in playing here this year.
Yeah.
And I love that our whole freaking local media is like, RG3 would be interested. Guess who else would be interested in playing this year? T. Strachan, Kevin Ricka, Ken Marangolio,
And Damian.
Harris. Who else?
Damon Harris.
Is there anyone else? Is that Greg Martin? AGH. Yes.
Peter North.
We all. You don't think he's got some thoughts about playing in DC this weekend?
He has some ideas.
Oh, you celery-eating fool.
For his own
Sicko.
offense. All right. Well, listen, we'll be back next week, maybe with the confirmation on our board exactly who is on our board.
Double Jeopardy rule.
you are covered by the double jeopardy rule in that case. All right. We got 1 week to go until we're back here in the basement. Hopefully, talking about a 2-2 Washington football team on the way up. And listen, if again, so much hinges. It's almost. I understand you use the words like must-win game. Man, this game is critically important for our chances to feel any kind of goodness this fall.
No, it's a can't effing lose this one or else it's a direct kick directly to the ding dong.
Yep, it
This
sure
is the
is.
worst Sunday loss to the Falcons. Matt Ryan's out there just slicing and dicing like T said he was gonna. And if that happens, honestly, I'm just gonna ask the next door. No, I just said if that does happen, I have to go over to Pierce's house, get his strongest steel toe boot, and just close my eyes, put my hands on my hips, and beg for it.
Really?
Because it'd be better than watching what I think you suggested could possibly happen.
I'll get Mark Sanchez to commentate that for you.
God damn it. It's the only thing
2-2.
that could have made it worse. It's
Here's
the only
to-
thing that could have made it worse.
2-2 on Tuesday. That's what we're hoping for. Until next week, he's Tim Strachan.
I to a turdless Tuesday next week.
T is for turd. He's Kevin Ricka.
T's for turd? I just heard.
For turdless.
Turd.
T
T's
is for
turdless.
turdless.
T's for turdless. T's for turdless. And,
Like the vegan
and S is
thing.
for Sanchezless. And,
Yes.
and shh.
Yeah, please,
Please.
God, do not turn your volumes up on Sunday. You got your warning here first. I'm Ken Marangolo. This was Thank God It's Tuesday. Please subscribe. Please give us a like. Come on back. It's all free. Appreciate you guys. We are still live. See you next week. What's up, Raymond Williams?
Man, I love so many Raymond Williamses.